An outraged community of Bellville in Cape Town is calling for justice following the attack and rape of a 16-year-old girl. The incident took place last week while the teenager was on her way to school. A suspect has since been arrested and is in custody. eNCA's Monique Mortlock is covering that story and joins us now for an update. Monique, just give us the background then to this incident and some of the other events that it then triggered.
The pupil was apparently a bit late for school, so she was rushing to get to school last Monday. And upon walking to school, she was then accosted by an individual who then proceeded to drag her to an outhouse toilet and raped her there. The pupil, apparently, this is according to community members, then rushed to find help at the school, and she then obviously informed educators what had happened, and police were then called in, and she was rushed to a place of safety where members of the FCS unit could take a statement. And what proceeded was really outraged community members posting on social media who they believe the perpetrator is. They posted pictures of this person's face. The Bellville Community Policing Forum then got involved to ask people to be calm. They asked people to refrain from sharing images of images of the person they believe is the perpetrator, who ended up not being the alleged suspect. There were also some community members sharing the home or the property on which this incident took place, and this then led to victimization of the family that lives there that allegedly have nothing to do with the incident that took place. So there's been quite a lot of outrage on social media, and Bellville CPF as well as community leaders asking for calm, asking people to just let the police do their job, because as we've seen over the last few months, incidents like the one in Parkwood in which an innocent e-hailing taxi driver was attacked and killed by community members who believed him to be involved in a kidnapping incident, and then it was found out later that he had nothing to do with so-called kidnapping syndicates. So it's for this reason that the CPF has just called for calm. There was also a protest by members of the community, by pupils, not only from the affected school but also from schools in the area, from primary school learners and high school pupils, standing together and saying that what has happened is unacceptable, calling on parents, the community, the SAPS and safety structures to do more to ensure the safety of pupils.
Yeah, speaking of the community, Monique, you've been engaging quite extensively with some members of the community as well as pupils in the area. I can only imagine the sense of outrage, but also perhaps even fear among the young people who have to go to school on a daily basis in the wake of this incident.
Certainly. The parents who I spoke to, they were naturally worried, and they felt it more important for me to hear from the pupils, and I wholeheartedly agreed with that, because these pupils who I spoke to, you'll hear their voices just now, they were so clear in their message that GBV will not be tolerated, not by their generation, and that they will stand in solidarity with the victim, with their fellow pupil. That is why they staged Friday's protest, and they say that they will continue with these discussions and continue putting pressure not only on the schooling community but also on the SAPS in seeking justice and in seeking a safer community for them. Some of the pupils I spoke to today, they in fact walk to school. One learner, Luyanda Msebi, she travels from Delft, takes public transport to school, and then walks a stretch that is quite dangerous, and is actually the same road in which the victim walked down, and she says she's terrified. Let's just take a listen to these pupils.
I think I speak for everyone in saying that this horrific incident cut deep, and it left visible scars. It instilled fear into the hearts and the minds of our students, our parents and our educators. But we want to turn this fear into fire, to fuel our fight against gender-based violence. Because we weren't prepared for this. Am I next? Is my friend next? Is my classmate next? What about my pupils? Even our educators? We do not know. It is time the youth stands up and takes accountability. For our role, it is time society stands up and takes accountability for their role in the growth of this plague. Because it is only with our collective voices that we can make enough noise to end gender-based violence.
When I saw, like, where people were saying that's where it happened, I was like, oh, yo, I'm here now, like, oh, like, am I safe now? Yeah, like, and even other places, am I safe? Like, it makes you question, am I safe? Am I next? And I refuse to be next because, wow. And seeing the support we've been getting from the community, seeing them stand up, it was very inspiring and also giving us hope that it will not happen again.
All right, Monique, let's leave it there. eNCA's Monique Mortlock there reporting on a story that is really a part of the snapshot of the ongoing violence against women in this country.